guys, this is Maria. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to introduce to you what is Raspberry Pi all about. But before that, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the notification box so you will get notified to my next video. So, what is Raspberry Pi? Raspberry Pi is a very cheap computer that runs Linux, but it also provides a set of GPIO or general purpose input-output pins that allow you to control electronic components for physical computing and exploring the Internet of Things or IoT. So Raspberry Pi started to take shape in 2011 as the foundation moved to using a low-cost ARM-based system on a chip designed by Broadcom. The BCM2835 would be used in the launch machine and was important in that it allowed the Raspberry Pi to run full Linux-based operating system. So for the comparison of different versions of Raspberry Pi, you may notice that some models have a plus on their name. This include usually indicates improvement in the design. For example, the Raspberry Pi Model A has 256 MB RAM, whereas the Raspberry Pi Model A Plus has 512 MB RAM, a micro SD slot, and more GPIO. The Raspberry Pi 2 Model B has 2 USB ports and 2 mounting holes, whereas the Model B Plus has 4 USB ports for mounting ports, a faster GPU, increased GPIO, and less power consumption. The different versions of Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pi Model A use this model for a low-cost project that needs a complete computer with no networking capabilities and decent input-output support. Next is Raspberry Pi Model B. This model can be used for a project where a price is no object and most powerful Pi is needed. This model also contains easy-to-use input-output, so it is suitable for first Pi project. Then, Raspberry Pi Compute. This is the model best for industrial applications where many input-output lines is needed. This model also maintains strong CPU capabilities. Next is Raspberry Pi Zero. Raspberry Pi Zero, this model is the best for an ultra-low cost, tiny space constrained project that requires a fully functioning computer and would benefit from wireless connectivity. There are some applications or projects that use a Raspberry Pi. First is the multi-language voice control IoT home automation using Google Assistant on Raspberry Pi. So in this project, they're going to make an IoT home automation system that will allow you to control your home with voice command given in your preferred language. Next is setting up Qt on Raspberry Pi and basic application. This project describes the steps to get started Qt software on Raspberry Pi. Qt is a platform that can run all desktop and mobile OSs. Then, accessing graphical desktop of Raspberry Pi using SSH and VNC. The configuration given in this article lets you set up a local network between Raspberry Pi board and a laptop using an Ethernet cable. It is a simple and convenient configuration to access Raspberry Pi remotely. And lastly is the web server using Raspberry Pi 2. Here we design a web server using Raspberry Pi 2 and mount on top of a robot car. The robot car can be controlled via a preset web address. It comes from price comparison. We have Raspberry Pi 1 Model B, released in 2012. It is $35 US. Raspberry Pi 1 Model A, released in 2013. That is $25. Raspberry Pi B Plus, released in 2014, is $35. Next is Model A Plus in 2014 again, $20. Raspberry Pi 2 Model B in 2015 is $35. Raspberry Pi Zero in 2015, $35. Raspberry Pi 3 Model B 2016, $35. Raspberry Pi Zero W in 2017, $35. Raspberry Pi 3 Model B Plus in 2018. Raspberry Pi 3 Model A Plus is in 2019 is both $35. For the components of Raspberry Pi, it has 40 extended GPIO pins. It has a Broadcom, onboard Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, micro SD card slot, SDI display port, micro USB power input, HDMI, CSI camera port, composite video node output jack, LAN port, and 2 USB port. So next is the Raspberry Pi 4. It is faster and more powerful. It has more powerful processor. So it has USB-C power supply. It includes micro SD HDMI port supporting 2x 4K display. Choices of RAM is 1 gig, 2 gig, and 4 gig. Next is Gigabyte Ethernet, and then 2 USB port and USB 3. The speed and performance of new Raspberry Pi 4 is a step from earlier models. For the first time, we built a complete desktop experience. Whether you're editing documents, browsing a web with a bunch of tab opening, juggling spreadsheet, or drafting presentation, you'll find experience smooth and very recognizable. It is silent, energy efficient, USB 3, fast networking, your choice of RAM. So silent, energy efficient, the fan-less, energy efficient Raspberry Pi runs silently and uses far less power than other computers. The USB 3, the new Raspberry Pi 4 has upgraded USB capacity. Along with 2 USBs, you'll find 2 USB 3 ports which you can transfer data up to 10 times faster. Fast networking is Raspberry Pi 4 comes with Gigabyte Ethernet along with onboard wireless networking and Bluetooth. Next is choice of RAM. Your choice of RAM, it has different RAM sizes as 1 GB, 2 GB, and 4 GB. That's all for today, and if you have questions, clarifications, and suggestions, comment below.